Supreme is finished now. That was a lot of welding, tell you that. Whole day, about 11 hours, I would say. The result is pretty decent, I say. Next we have to obviously weight it up, and because people are asking how much does it weight being stainless and so strong. Obviously it's more than original one. Anyways, this is not about the Supreme, this is about the bike once again, because actually let me get one of these with me, I'll show you. It's been quite time about the T7, and because I probably don't have a time to race it this year because of the business, and I actually stupidly even put it for sale for a moment, and that was very stupid of me. I'm sorry, I'm never gonna do it again. This bike, it cannot be sold. It's just not. It's worth way too much money. The money I've spent, I bought the bike brand new. I spent so much money and time on this. No one will ever pay me, not even what I should get for it. Not what I want to, not what I spend, but what I should for what the bike is worth to. Because it's full, you know, it's ready to do Africa Eco Race, big rallies and everything. It's proper rally bike. You know, the top spec suspension is like, not even Yamaha has a good, like official Yamaha has good suspension as good as this. And maybe as good as this, because obviously they have a top spec, I got a top spec as well. But they got nothing more than I have, and I have quite a lot more than they have. So it just doesn't look as good, because everything is, zip ties to hold something secure, because I don't have to be, show off and how beautiful it is. Whereas on the, prototype fuel tank, they're not great. It looks raw, because it is, I don't have to get all the plastics. I'm using my spare FX50 plastics, which actually sits really good. I'm choosing the color. Obviously, if it's white, I'm not sure about it. If it's graphics with all Husqvarna, it's H. Could be for hardcore, could be for hard enduro, could be for lots of stuff, whatever you want. But no, I think I'm gonna get them black, and then eventually, obviously, we're gonna redesign the fuel tank slightly nicer this time, because we know it works. It's been way over one season, and it's just absolutely great. So I'm gonna do it. So what I'm doing with it, I'm kind of adventurizing it back to as it was before. Not as it was before, but obviously T7 is an adventure bike, not a rally bike, not an enduro bike. We use it for everything. I mean, last season was very intense. I used it and abused it massively. But now, because I can't race anymore, I'm gonna convert it to adventure bike again, and it doesn't take much. Low fender on the front. I'm probably gonna remove some of the Fox travel, because I have more travel than actually space here, about 20 mil, so that's not good. But with a huge hydraulic bump stop, on the road and soft off-road, and there's no risk of crashing that, so that's fine. Obviously, a tablet, but again, that was there already for the navigation and anything, so that was there already. The nav tower stays as it is, because it's great. This screen is actually upgrade for the T7 anyway, so it works good. I've tested it, and it's good, very comfortable at 70-75 miles an hour. At 80 doesn't change much. At 85 you start feeling some wind, so yeah, very good. Obviously needs some storage. The bike being, very compact and light as possible, didn't have any storage. I mean, the tail, there's nothing there. This is just plastic. This is a 690, including the seat, which I'm now covered, because I'm doing this. I'm experimenting with this, a bit more foam, because I want to rise it a little bit and be softer. I'm kind of trying to reproduce what the concept seat concept. Concept seats, comfort seats are the two and the wide one, the comfort one. Similar design, but lowered on the front here, because the way this seat is fitted to this bike. Taller here in the middle, and then wider where my ass supposed to be, but away from this inches for the tank. So when my boots are on top here, my legs not hitting the seat anyway. And then obviously much wider here, I have to finish it off because obviously this is in between for now for my missus. And then once we got this, I'm probably gonna get some upholstery people and do it, or maybe I do it, I don't know. This is very comfy anyway, so I may just put some, you know, shape it up on the foam exactly that I want it, the way I want it, and then put some cover on. I don't know, we'll see. Acerbis, this is actually working out very nicely. This is my dirt bike Acerbis tool bag for the fender. But I've attached it with the frame, because yeah, I got the naked frame here. And it's just great. It fits absolutely awesome. And this is fairly big. It's not my weight, it's not my weight on legs or anything. So yeah, it's good, I like it. My Kriegas, these are 36 liters Kriegas exactly for the T7, but obviously the fuel tank and the shape is completely different. However, I find it to be actually sitting on this bike better because, as you know, they're usually quite floppy and I don't like it. Where this one is solid, because all I had to do is for my on my exhaust hanger, there are a couple of bolts, and I put some small tab of aluminium there, bolted on, and I use inner strap to put it down, and it stopped from flapping. It's absolutely great. I'm gonna do exactly the same here. I have to take the fuel tank off anyway because I need to put obviously one of these for my missus on the back, and they're gonna be about here, which works out, actually let me show you better, works out pretty good because, you know, it follows that line, and so I have to, you know, weld some chunk of aluminium with threads on so I can put them on and off, and yeah, that's gonna be more than okay. Once I've done this and we find out the pegs in a good position, then we're gonna scan the whole bike, the fuel tank and everything, and design on CAD the proper fuel tank, you know, same shape as this, but obviously much nicer. And then it's not gonna be attached to the rest of the subframe here, but it's gonna be attached to the main frame over here. So we're gonna design on CAD and see the CNC fabricate some mounts to the frame, one on the top, one on the bottom, further away from him. You know, there were kind of designs of a prototype T7 before the T7 came out, and I like that design, and I think we're gonna not copy, but get close to that design because it's very nice. So yeah, yep, everything is welded up, and that's it. The exhaust stays the same place, you know, the bash plate, well, everything I used for racing, you know, it's just brilliant. It's great. The bike is much lighter. I think this is a great area because I had a lot of difficulties to weigh this bike, you know, because I had two different dodgy scales and I had a third one. Third one shows, I think is good because we tested on different stuff and I weighed it myself and it showed kind of true. This is supposed to be 175 kilograms motorcycle without the fuel, with all the liquids inside the engine, so coolant, on oil, all the stuff, everything ready to go besides the fuel. And obviously that was on heavier wheels with the mousses in. Now I just fitted the standard T7 wheel with the tube inside and 50-50 meters E12 rally start tire, which I rate them very good on the tarmac, on a wet tarmac. Off-road, yeah, they're okay on dry. Mud, stay away. I mean, yeah, they're alright, they're much better than standard ones, but not really great, you know. Not as, obviously, the full enduro stuff I had before. Same on the front, this is my still SM Pro, this is my race wheel. Well, SM Pro Platinum wheels, they're much stronger than original ones. But I still have my original wheel, but it's not on this bike, I cannot use it, I'm gonna show you in a minute. But that's, again, Rally Star Meters E13, very good tire. On dry tarmac, on wet tarmac especially. Off-road, again, same story as the one behind. If it's dry, it's fine. If it's wet, actually very good as well. Now the single disc, this is something that we need to talk about. Single discs is good for racing, for off-road. On the road, not so much. It's alright, but not powerful enough. Now, I need to show you why. All right, so the whole front end is on my Subaru Tenere 750 because I didn't need it. And the whole wheel, and obviously the other part of the brakes are on this bike. So I don't want to kind of use it unless I decide to sell this bike, but I don't want to because it doesn't owe me much money. It's a brilliant bike. It's great. It's very comfortable, but you know, I've done a lot of stuff. A nice exhaust on there, Craig attachment for the panniers again, awesome fuel gauge. You know, it's just nice. Good attachment for the carpet heater here or for any other navigation. The dash is electronic now. Oxford heated grips. She's ready to go. But now my missus is like, well, why don't we use the T7 for travel and go camping, whatever, our trips, since you're not using that for racing anymore. Which is kind of a good point, but obviously the pain in the ass is that I have to make it as comfortable as this at least. Because this is amazing, this is a sofa. And it handles incredibly good as well. I said it in the previous video, actually I think this bike may probably handle even better than the standard T7, believe me or not. However, if I sell it, I'm probably gonna put, because still have the whole front end, the old one, I'm gonna put that one on. I'm gonna remove the T7 front end, just so able to use the standard front wheel and the rest of the brakes. The other option is that because on this one I have R1 310mm front disc and a single caliper, and the bike is heavier, fully loaded with my missus, the braking force is strong enough. So you say, why don't you do it on this one? Just increase the size of the disc, space the caliper out, so kind of like a supermoto stuff. The bigger the disc, the more force on the braking, and that makes sense. However, I've noticed one thing. I didn't notice on the 750, but on this one I've noticed that I'm actually going through the wheel bearings fairly often, and I blamed initially wheel bearings qualities. I've blamed the use I'm doing on the bike. I mean, we were hitting rocks and all the stuff. We really abused this bike, you know, enduro training and all the stuff. And racing and yeah, stupid stuff that we shouldn't. So I blame that. But then I've noticed that the wheel bearing goes is always on the side of the caliper. And obviously, when you brake with a single disc, you can feel the bars initially. It moves a little because you have some giveaway on the forks. I mean, the tubes move a little bit, kind of like if you sit on the top this way, so when you brake it kind of move that way. And for some reason, it's always this bearing that gives up. Now, it's not a big deal. I'm probably very perfectionist, whatever. You know, they're not lasting a week, they're lasting long term anyway, especially when you're going to travel. But it kind of bothers me a little. So maybe I'm thinking with the second caliper on the side, with the second disc on the side, the braking force is going to be equal and not going to run into that problem, which isn't a problem really anyway. I don't know, we'll see. That being said, just a bigger disc, and then this setup is probably just easy to use it, you know, just leave it as it is, bigger disc, space in the caliper, and that's it. Because modulability with a single caliper and the YZ pump is very good. I really like them. Obviously all the navigation equipment, F2R, all of that, all the wires, all the sensors gonna come off because I don't need them anymore. All I'm keeping is the tablet because navigation, you know, it's Locus Maps, you know, for example. There you go, Google Maps or whatever, which is good. I still hold it for the phone because I like to listen to music when I'm traveling and, you know, go away. This is not on. This is actually the standard T7 part. It's just upside down because usually it's just naked as it is. But when I'm doing 70, 80 and more road use, I kind of want a little bit more of deflection from here to go to my torso, to my actual torso. It's like kind of here on this part. I don't know. I'm experimenting with that stuff. I know it's just small. You get it. Just small aluminium brackets cut off very quickly, and number plate bolts, plastic bolts, is not on yet. It's a bit dodgy, it's a bit bodged, which is funny because you got over 6 grams of suspensions and wheels and everything, and then plastic bloody shit like this. I know, who cares? This doesn't really matter. This really doesn't matter. Suspensions do matter. So you say, okay, it's going to be a waste of the bike. Well, yes and no, because having a good suspensions is good in any case. They're gonna save your ass in dodgy situations. The bike being light and handling better and being more powerful and sounding good and all of that stuff, that's not bad. That's just good. Even for travel, even for adventure stuff. On my own, with friends, let's say Morocco, Spain, or even local, just long weekends, adventures, off-road, or travel with my missus. I mean, I don't see nothing bad about this. And also having 25.5 liters of fuel under my ass, not on the top there. Again, that's as helpful as in racing. Maybe in racing is more important, obviously, because when you travel with your missus, you're not doing all the stupid stuff that we do when we on our own. But it's an advantage. The minus is that the bike is smaller. Inevitably, is smaller. If you see the back of my wheel where it ends, this is the end of the bike. My tail actually finishes before my wheel, so I'm getting sprayed with the mud on the hair. So I have to add something over there. I already add a little bit more legal number plate. This is still smaller than it should be, but it's not much I can really attach here because this is floppy. It's not for the big plastic number plates. But I got to work on this. Also, the fuel cap is not in ideal position when you got the panniers here, but I think Krieger can stay here, so it's just borderline annoying. Still not. You can still, obviously, when this is back, I can still put, obviously, my tent on the back here and transport it. That's good enough because the aluminium support is actually up to here. Kinda. To get Kriegers now, they just with the zip ties. To put this on, I'm gonna weld the dabs on like bosses on the fuel tank. So the Krieger system will go on and off as original. So that's not bad at all. And I think that's it. Yeah, the only pain in the ass is that I have to now find my perfect shape for the seat, and then I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Because now obviously it's just a piece of foam, but this is very good foam, so probably gonna use this with some nice cover, and then take the fuel tank off and weld it up. But that's not a really big issue for me. Taking this fuel tank off, literally, I'm not shitting you, it's probably 15 minutes. Honestly, it's that easy. It's literally one plug, one electrical plug for the lights on the back, because I got the dual lights. For the rally spec, you have to have one on the top as well. And that's it as electrics goes, because all the electric actually stays inside the chassis with the bike. The subframe and the fuel tank is completely separated. Just in case something happens, I'm going to rip all my electrics up. But I've crashed with this bike badly. One of the crash was at speed and I flew the bike upside down. Actually, the first thing that hit the ground with the whole weight of the bike was the top of the fuel tank. Actually hit it here. This was all bent. The small bracket there was bent because it's weak and it's designed to bend instead of breaking. So the whole impact was actually on the worst position on the fuel tank, on the top over there. So, and again, fine, absolutely fine. Didn't bend, didn't break, didn't crack. It was absolutely spot on. So I'm really happy with that. What can I say? I absolutely love this bike. This is a mixture of big Tenere, well, not big Tenere T7, because if you compare them to other bikes, they're not actually that big, but it's still a twin cylinder class bike. It's not 200 kilograms anymore, it's 175. You feel it, and you feel the distribution of the weight massively. So again, it's a mixture of the twin class bike with kind of like a big enduro bike. It's not a big enduro bike. Don't be fooled. It may look like, but it's not. It's still at T7. It's slightly lighter, and it's better, and center of gravity is lower. But it's not a big enduro bike. It's a twin adventure bike. Period. Now, because we can use them where we're supposed to use enduro bikes, is a different matter. Does it ride way better? Absolutely. A friend of mine he's got a T7. He rode mine. He was like, fuck me, this is completely different bike. It goes twice as good as his one. When he has to struggle with this, it's like, yeah, it's not even bother. Which it says a lot really, because I should be riding this way better than he does, and I don't. So it says a lot about the capability of the bike, which 50 of it comes from the rider. So, you know, you should start improving that skills first, and then the bike. That's the problem people have, including myself. Anyways, this is what happened with the T7 race bike, adventurizing back to what it's supposed to be for. But yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know why it came to my head trying to sell it, because that was stupid. That was stupid of me. Sorry. The only thing I'm not sure about is blinkers. I don't have any blinkers. I don't have any indicators lights, because we don't have to. I've changed all of this. This is, these are my lights, because you can see, because I've changed everything. This is all manual. It doesn't work with CAN-bus or through ECU anymore. It's just very simple. These are my lights as well, even with the ignition off, because this is the way I want it to be. Again, for racing. To be more road legal, do I need them? Their bikes, they come with normal, they road legal in UK. They don't have indicators. I don't know. I need to read about regulations. I mean, it's not like, number plate is not very, 100% legal. I mean, I'm trying, the usually is that it's only tiny ones, enduro ones. But I'm trying. At least I'm doing something. I see, maybe I'll make some better cover, something plasticky that goes from here, and it goes a bit more here with a bigger number plate. I know it's going to be ugly, but, kind of give me a hand, something longer here. Not spraying my misses and my back and my panniers with the mud. But we'll see. All the rest is good. There you go. Besides that, everything is as it should be. Yeah, using race bike. I'm not gonna tell you how much I spent, because you won't even believe it. As camping bike, adventure bike, to use it on the long weekends, go camping with my missus. Hey, why not? Fuck it. Everything changes, we have to adapt. And then we'll see. Next year, maybe we know this business goes on its own, I'm not so busy here anymore. Maybe I can actually enter the Africa Eco Race. Or the Narek Rally, or whatever, just long distance rally, what I built the bike for, what I've trained the whole last year. All this racing I've done, all this hard work we've done last year, it was to prepare myself for long distance rally racing. And now as I'm ready, now as the bike is ready, I have no funds and no time for it, because everything is in the business, but the business is being built, so it will allow me to actually do it. Hopefully. Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Anyways, I'll see you soon.